Okay, in this video we're going to be looking at my top 5 base building locations. So I'm going to be looking at places where I've built bases in the past. Some of them are due to location, some of them are due for building and stealth, some of them are a little out of the way. But just a few locations where I think is a decent place to put a base, and hopefully I'll give you some ideas. And if there's anything you want to add to it, then like I said, obviously Chernow's a massive map, so I'm not going to be able to cover anything. But if there's anything you want to add to it, guys, let me know. But if that's something you think you're interested in, this is the video for you. So we're going to give up now on chasing this pig, leave the zombies of it, and we're going to get straight into the video. Well, number 5 is a little red barn which is quite out of the way. It's quite far north. It's covered by a lot of trees, obviously perfect for getting wood if you want to build a base and all that sort of stuff, and if you want to add gates, watchtowers and everything else with it, it's a good location. Now, I've used this one before for something that is, like I said, it is out of the way. It's not around a near town or city. You can see there's a lot of open fields, open space, but I like it because not many people know where it is. That's where we located on the map. So you've got Svenograd just to the left, and like you can see, I'm circling now. You have got a few airfields and a few military sites that you can actually go and loot. We've got a big town of Novo, which is just a bit further north. So there are places to loot, but I like it because it's quiet. Not many people drive past. As you can see, the lanes coming up don't really go anywhere. They go to this, and there's also a big barn, which we'll see in a second. But this is something that I use for something out of the way. Now, it's easy to defend. You just pretty much need the 2 gates each side to block both of the barn doors. There's, like I said, there's plenty of wood around it. If you didn't like this spot exactly, this for argument's sake, this barn, you like this location, there's a big barn just over here. So you've got this big barn if you wanted something a bit bigger. Maybe you're playing on a PvE server or something, you don't need to defend it as much, so there's a big barn there. You've also got like a little couple of houses dotted around, and you've also got another barn down there. So guys, that is coming in at number 5, and I think that's a decent location. And just lastly, before I go, what I do like about this as well is that it has got pretty much its own water source. Granted, it's not the freshest water in the world, but as you said, you know, this is a survival game. So if you scroll down, you can see the water in the middle. In fact, I'll pan right into it. You can see the water. As long as you've got chlorine tablets, there's just plenty to drink. And like I said, it's all you need really, isn't it? Drink and food. If you rule number 1 of Dayz, either prompt yourself close to a well or close to some water. So there's plenty of water there. You can just go down, fill up, and use chlorine tablets. So that's why this is number 5. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 4. Now, number 4 comes into play because I'm going to be honest, this is the first location I ever built a base in Dayz. Now, it's I started building this little bit earlier, and that's where I plonked my man while I'm in free cam mode, flying around. But like again with the other place, it has got some more options. You can either use that big barn, you can use the blue building here, the factory building, and there's a nice little tent there for anybody. So there's a few choices around. Now you've got a decent little town to go loot in. There's a few houses dotted around on the outskirts of town as well where you can actually go loot in. Or if you didn't want something as big, I better show you where we are on the map. So that's where we are on the map, near Moglevikia. So that's where we are on the map. So like I said, there's a well there. There's also a pub there as well, one of the big pubs that you can put a decent sized base in. I'll just show you the big pub now. So you can pretty much, I think it's only two gates on that, and you'll block off the whole building. You've got a well right there, right in the centre. There's the well. Now it is covered sometimes by a lot of zombies, but you've got a perfect well. So again, everything you need really. You're in close proximity to loot. The only thing I'd say, you're not exactly close to airfields and stuff, but if you're on a PvP server and you die, you're not that far from the coast, so it is a base you can make it back to on foot with relative ease. And again, there's a water source there if you don't want to go to the well, but in this case you'd need to go to the well. And just a quick one with water, you probably know, but you will need chlorine tablets. But guys, that's my choice as number 4, and let's have a look where we get into number 3. So number 3 is a base I actually like. It's a place I started building, but I did never actually finish. Now we are quite far north again, and I'll show you in a second where we are, but I like this little compound. This little compound has a fence all the way around. You've got a choice of 3 buildings. You've got the red barn, you've got the other little barn, which I've never really built a base in, or you've got the house. Now it's easy enough to block off this compound. As you can see from the fence, there are a couple of gaps in the fence, but it's not hard to block off. You've also got the big barn just slightly left, and I'm just going to quickly show you where we are on the map. So we're near Tizzy, near Northwest Airfield. Again, you've got a well just to the west there. You've got a nice well. You've got a big barn just there as well, sitting by a tree orchard. So that you've got obviously you've got loads of fruit and stuff that will spawn there. And around them silos and the I don't know what they call the big white hay barns or wherever you get mushrooms and stuff. So you do get food that will spawn in there. Now, if you didn't like this spot, exactly this spot, just down the road, you can probably see on the left-hand side, in fact, I'll take you down, is another area. Now, this is a lumberjack yard. So, again, you can use the choice of two buildings there. You've got garages you can loot, and a nice little zombie sitting there minding his business, watching the world go round. So, again, you can loot this area. Now, what does spawn in this area as well is planks. So you will get stacks of planks that will spawn in this area. So you're not going to be too far. As long as you've got nails and a hammer, you can pretty much build whatever you want, and the planks will keep spawning in. Obviously, they like normal stuff, they spawn in and restart, etc. But this is why I like this location. It's a decent location. It's close to a main road, close to both Tizzy and Northwest Airfield, and it's easy to defend. Like I said, a couple of gates, and you're going to sort that fence right out. So we're going to move into number 2. Now, number 2 again is a place I have built. Oh, there's a new truck. I haven't seen them trucks yet. I think that's new for the new update, the 1.10 update. So I'll have a quick look at this. I've not come across this before, but this will be something I'll check out in depth in a later video or whatever. But this location is just north of Zlen. So it's just north of Zlenagon. It's a barn. It's just out of the way. And again, you've got trees to the right-hand side just behind me. You've got trees where obviously you can go and create as many logs and stuff as you want. You've got water just across the road if you didn't want to go looking for it. There's a big pond or lake or whatever you want to call it. You can just see in the background there. But again, it's close to the main road. It's also close to Zen. So obviously, Zlen, get my words out in the end. So it gives you a good opportunity. You can either head north into Viber, etc., or you can head south to Zlen or the coast. It's a decent, and like I said, it's a decent road as well. You're close to Green Mountain, so if you're playing on a modded server, as most of you are aware, most of the traders are Green Mountain, so you're not far from Green Mountain either. So it's a decent location. There's other things around, like you've got a few cabins there you can go and loot, and there are, again, you're close to a water source. You've got a well just up the road, and you've also got Zlen military camp as well. So you can, there's a lot of looting opportunities here. Now, I did build here. What I found is that you could run back and forth to the Green Mountain Trader easily if you wanted to, and I was playing on an extreme server at the time where it was quite difficult. So you can make it easy. You can see in the background there, you've got a fuel station just down the road, just to our left. You've got a few farm complexes, etc., a few small houses and stuff if you didn't want to build in a massive base. Again, you can just see the red barn as we're moving down towards Zlen. You can just see the red barn. And like I said, one of the big plus areas this, if you're into like gearing up and sort of stuff and you want to hit the military camp, you've got a military camp right there, right on your doorstep. Now, it's not the biggest camp in the game, but it is fully equipped with a few buildings, and it is something that you can go and loot, and you can just keep looting. If you like, you know, what are you there? Probably 800-900 meters away. But yeah, you can just keep looting. And as we head further north, you've got a little town you can also loot as well. If you didn't fancy going into Zlen, there's a well there. There's other houses, bases and stuff. So that's a really good position that I think, you know, decent. So this is my number 1. Now this is my favourite spot on the whole map where I like building. You can probably see the thumbnail. That's where I built the massive base for the thumbnail. I'm going to say I had a lot of help from that, so thanks, Jade. But that's where I built the massive base, and that's where we've positioned. Now you've got Viber just north. Obviously you've got VMC to the east, which I think is about 690 meters away, 790 meters away. If you didn't fancy using the big base, you've also got the house. If you wanted to, you could make one massive base and block the whole thing off with watchtowers. If you didn't fancy a big massive base, if you use this house here, now this only has one door. Once I get the camera zoomed up right, this has one door, so it has one entrance or exit point. It would literally be one gate, and that's a base, which would be difficult to break in because it is only one base. Again, you've got the small complex here. Nice little tractor sitting in the field there. You've got a small complex here which you can also block off, which another mate's mine has used as well. And that's quite a decent base. Once it's blocked off with watchtowers and fences, etc., and a few camo nets, it looks really good. Let's just get some light on here. Let's see what we're doing again. So I love this location, and even if you didn't fancy this, if you fancied something like a small compound, just going to show you quickly just how close we are to the military camp. Now look how close that is. I mean, when I was building it, I could constantly hear gunshots and stuff going off in that area. So it's easy to go loot in and stuff, and it's a straight road that takes you there. You've also got water in the trees there. If you wanted it, you wouldn't have to exactly run and find water. But the other thing is you could block this compound off. Now I did this as well on a different server. I watchtowered the whole complex. So I turned it into one big watchtower, 3 stories high. It took me ages to do, but that's a really good position, and again it's on a main road. So I wouldn't recommend it so much for a player versus player server, but if you wanted to, you could. And obviously you got Viber north then, so you could loot along with the airfield, etc. So guys, thanks for watching. I mean, that's my top 5 places. I mean, they're the top 5 places I've actually built in. I understand there's more places out there, and obviously if I did this in another year's time I'd probably have 5 different ones. But that's what I've come up with. If you can think of anywhere better, or if you have any hints or tips for myself, then I'd love to know as well. I'm all open to trying something new. But what I want to do is thanks for watching. Thank you for watching this video. If you watched it through this far, I'd hit the sub button, would really appreciate it. And guys, I'll catch you next time. You have a nice day.